Oh yeah, everyone. Welcome to the Potty Mouth. I think we are 53, show 53 today.
Ooh.
JB, how are you doing, sir? Nice to have you on.
Thank you very much. Pretty well, doing all right.
Oh, good. Jesse, there we go. We're coming to you there for all the hard, intense gardening questions. Don't forget. And Audrey, lovely to see you on this.
Yes, great to be here. Thank
Is it a
you.
chilly morning in Detroit?
I
You
don't know that I've even checked yet.
You don't even know.
I don't.
The heating's on. It's rather
The
tropical.
heating is on and it's 70 degrees in my home. So that's all that's
lovely.
important
Anyways,
at the moment.
lovely to have you all in. First off, I think we should mention that Grown Locals competition, which was actually a rather nice one.
Oh, very nice.
Give away an 8-set kind of quad grow, and there was all sorts to be done. There was packs of seeds and everything like that. JB, have you got the winners in front of you? Because I've just looked.
I do.
Good,
funnily enough.
Good. Would you be kind enough to kind of announce the winners? Because I haven't got them.
Absolutely. So first prize, we've got the quad grow with 8 pots and a £10 voucher for seeds. What a bonus.
Wow.
And that's gone to Rachel Avis. Ian has said he's going to be contacting everyone, so you should be aware of this already. But second prize, the microgreen kit and another £10 voucher for seeds has gone to Maria Slater. And then third prize, which is the £10 voucher for seeds, has gone to Lee France. I'm struggling with the talking already.
I wouldn't have given you the job if I was going to know you were going to butcher it that bad. Well, that's honestly just congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hopefully,
giveaway,
get them out there, before Christmas. A nice little treat for you as well. You know what I mean? So, and I think Ian said we'll kind of, because it was a bit like Gordon with my e-bike, didn't kind of get in touch for quite a while. So if you don't get in touch, I think Ian's going to put it on he'll just redraw it again. So if you don't get in touch, that's you know what I mean? You lose your prize.
It's the tricky thing about these competitions, isn't it? You've got
to
be around for the results.
Well, funny enough, JB, I had for the e-bike hundreds, and you'd think people would kind of, right, I'll just check. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and it wasn't, Gordon said the actual email wasn't coming to him, you know what I mean? So
yeah, if you've got anything that's like giveaway or prizes, emails just think you're spamming people.
Yeah.
So you go in the spam folder,
So, but anyways, well, we had a nice week gardening since the last time. JB, have you been? What?
I tell you what, right? So I just watched your Mojo video, your Lost Mojo video, and I have had like just a hellish week at work. And in some ways, it's been quite nice because it's like the thing that keeps me going is knowing that I've got a weekend on the allotment coming. And it's been really tough with like not having much time after work and being pretty knackered. But it's so good when you finally get to the weekend and you're just like, yes, let's go. So Saturday and Sunday on the plot, just doing loads of stuff, cleaning out plum trees, getting more stuff prepped and ready, bit of work in the greenhouse, bit of work in the tunnel. So yeah, pretty good week, but very tired. Do you ever get that thing as well where you get through Sunday and like it's the end of the day Sunday, you've been working quite hard at the allotment and then you go, oh no, now I'm really exhausted and I've got another week ahead of me of work. You got to build in some time for rest, but no, pretty good, all things considered.
I don't get that now. JB.
I know.
Every day is a weekend. Every day is a weekend. And I still get, honestly, I still get that like excitement of like, I do get the kind of, shut out a day. Off tomorrow. I still get that kind of buzz.
Nice.
You know what? I was just going to ask you there, JB, when you mentioned that, though, do you still crave to go, because once the time comes when on like a weekend and you say, right, I need to go to the allotment, is it easy to go to the allotment?
Yeah, this winter, because I've had so many kind of cool and exciting projects with the polytunnel and building all the raised beds, I've had quite a lot of momentum and it's been quite nice, actually. I do quite often. I've experienced the opposite of that plenty, where you're a bit like, oh, I don't want to go, or there's chores to do. But no, the momentum has been there this winter. It's been good.
I think with me, it's just like I get up, because I don't have to go to work. I get up stupid early. Do you know what I mean? Still, it's lovely. Do you know what I mean? Because with shifts, you wake up early anyways. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm 6 o'clock. I'm lighting the fire. The dogs are there, but I find it takes us a little more shoving to get us up to the allotment. I don't know. Jess, do you get that excitement, JB, kind of skipping and dancing to the allotment, or you're a little bit dragging your heels?
Normally I'm pretty keen to get going, and this week I've like gone up, let the girls out, and gone and stood in the greenhouse and just like for like a good 5-10 minutes to be like, right, you're up here now. And it feels like that's the first hurdle, and then I've got to find something to do, you know, and it's like this, the list is endless. But those are the stuff that I'm doing at the moment is sort of reliant on something else. So it's all chicken and egg. And I sort of staring at this list of like, I don't even know where to start. Just go home.
In what
like that this
what do you
week.
mean by like a list, Jess? Give us an example. What are on your to-do list?
Like a load of major stuff to do. So like anti-ratting is a major like task for this winter. So the chicken house luckily is like pretty much rat free, but because they can't get in there, but they've started digging under because it's dry, and because it's got a total chicken wire base, obviously to stop the foxes. I didn't do it to stop rats. I didn't really think about rats, but it does stop them coming up. But they're excavating underneath, and then the soil's all falling through. So like it's got these big dips in it. So I need to re-floor the chicken house, and then I need to do the same to the polytunnel and the greenhouse.
Wow.
And just it's like, oh god, they're like major tasks. So
let's see if I got this right then, Jess. So your chicken hut with the 4 sides, you've actually got chicken wire on the floor, like tacked.
Yeah, so the chicken wire, when it was originally made, so my dad made the original one, the mesh walls kind of are sunk into the ground by not a huge amount, but by about like this much. And the whole bottom of it was done with a double layer of chicken wire, because otherwise the fox will just, you know, dig straight up underneath. So it's got to stop them coming up from underneath. But
I would have never
it's also stopped the rats up until now, but now they're excavating because it's dry. It looks like, yeah, it's just a minefield in there, and you go in and like your shoes are getting stuck on you know what chicken wire's like when it gets all wrapped up. It's infuriating. Like that's what it's like in there at the moment. So it's yeah.
And how are you going to fix that? Take it all off, or
dig it out and re-chicken wire it. And the polytunnel,
or get rid of the chickens. Christmas is coming.
Oh my god,
that sounds like a monumental, Jess, task.
Yeah, and then the polytunnel, obviously I've got a raised bed in there, the L-shaped raised bed, so I have to get rid of all the soil and remove the raised bed and re-chicken wire and then put it all back again. So I've got this huge list of things which is like good projects that I need to get done, but I just go and stand in there and think, oh no.
yeah.
I would be dragging me heels, to be honest.
Yeah.
The kind of big jobs like that.
Once I've started, it's going to be like the blooming shower. You know, it's like once you started, it's then on your head, because you can't get on with anything else until you've done it. So if I start, I know I've got to be like full action mode, and I don't feel like full action mode at the moment.
It's funny as well, it's like it's the perfect time to do it. You know what I mean? There's just nothing else to do. You know what I mean? I'm not getting at you, Jess. You know what I mean? But it is like you know what I mean? It is, and now you kind of, this is when I guess when all the heavy lifting work gets done. You know what I mean? Like flagstones and polytunnels built, JB, there, and you know, Audrey, have you got big tasks? Are you getting everyone to kind of rally around and get them done, or?
I do not, but I did start microgreens this week and cucumbers. Nice. And I have 3 little cucumber sprouts coming up. So very exciting. I'm really excited to do that this year. So I'm gonna be harvesting some cukes. I
think the nearest I got was actually finding the cucumber seeds. I never got they're here somewhere. I never got. Have you got, Jess? Have you got your cucumbers away? Have you? Or have you?
I'm going to do them 1st of January.
Right.
That's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. That is crazy cucumbers. That is.
Did you do it, JB, last
Do
year?
you know, I think I did. I think I did, and then I think I killed it by taking it to the greenhouse too
Oh,
early.
that's right.
I was
Oh,
like, "Get
yeah.
out!
Yeah.
You're too big for the house. Get out of my house!" And then
So you weren't gonna grow them in your house.
no.
Okay.
They were
That was
early
the whole.
starts.
That's the
That-
goal.
That's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Yeah.
I mean, like a nice windowsill, quiet windowsill.
You
'Cause
need
it
a really
kinda-
tall window.
Yeah. I'm growing them over my grow tower behind me. So they're just gonna go around there and we'll see. I'm hoping. Last year didn't work, so
Well, mine
here's
did.
hoping.
Yeah, I got. I just remember when Jess mentioned that last year or something, and it was just like,
Yeah.
in January you saw it, because such a fickle thing. Do you know what I mean? Normally, you know what I mean. But
So Tony, how's your mojo coming along?
do you know what it is? It's all right, to be honest. I was saying that I don't know if you've seen in the chat. I put it actually. I asked ChatGTP, one of these AIs, to kind of sum up, and it was lovely, kind of seeing all that, the comments that came back, and then how many people commented, like saying, just relax, Tony. You know what I mean? How many people said, just look at some seed catalogs, and I'm not one for seed catalogs. I never kind of get into that, but I think what I'm gonna do is, and take a leaf from Steve's book, is do some tests. So I'm doing tests with. We were talking last week, if Jess mentioned about this fancy mulch compost that she has. Well, I found there was a. Have you heard of? I'm going to butcher up the pronounce strulch. Is it skulch or sulch or something?
Yeah. The
It's-
strulch.
Well, I bought 2 bags of that from off Amazon, which is coming on Wednesday, which is stupid price.
It is, isn't it?
It's like,
Yeah.
and because then I've also went to Wylam yesterday to buy some Keith Singleton's soil conditioner, which I got 4 bags of, which was £10, but it's like 100 litres. But it was out in the open. You know, when you compost out in the open, it was a ton weight. Man,
Mm.
do you know what I mean? I don't know. I've got this this belt, this hernia belt. I should have had it on because the things were sodden wet. But they're still in the car there. So I'm waiting for this. Is that how you pronounce it? Strulch.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
straw
gosh.
mulch. Like a
Yes.
portmanteau.
But from all kind of reading, it's supposed to be really good. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a couple of bags of that, and I've got this conditioner stuff, and I've got cardboard. I'm not going to do the plastic, JB.
Not covering it.
I'm not doing the plastic. But
That's just for fresh manure. That was
Uh,
my idea for that one.
I'm just kind of that's going to get me kind of mojo, I guess. And then by that time, I'm going to be, you know what I mean, fine. It was just, I think I just kind of put all my energy and enthusiasm into the polytunnel, and then I looked outside, and thank God everyone kind of came and helped, because if it had still been a mess,
Yeah.
Yeah.
nothing would have been done. I'll guarantee you. You know what I mean? I would have
No, it
just-
looks good. Your allotment looks
Yeah.
good.
Do you know what?
It's
Do you know what? I'll be honest here. There was one comment, and I sent them to the padded room. I thought, "Oh, yes." You know what I
I'm
mean?
excited for this one.
It said, Tony, I thought, yeah, cheeky mother chucker. I'm really disappointed with all them lovely folks coming to help you. Your garden is such a mess at the moment. And I was trying to think, I'm guessing it means like the cardboard on the beds, because that's all I've done is and I was like, and I was so ready to kind of type, and I thought, no, just send it to the padded room. Take your time. Take your time to. I was like, you cheeky. But,
Hey, is anybody using that? Remember that miracle soil that we got in those little packets? It wasn't miracle soil, but it's
yes.
I know the
essentially
one.
Are
Ah.
any of you guys gonna do that this year?
This
There
one's
you go,
Audrey.
super soil.
Super soil. Yeah.
It's a
There
bit
you
bright,
go.
isn't it?
I forgot all about that, Audrey, to be honest.
Yeah.
What is it?
That's a very good question, Jesse.
Yes. It's super soil. Yeah.
Hmm.
Is
And
it, GB, is it worth it? Because it's expensive stuff.
Look, okay, so I was gonna do a video on this. I need to be quite careful about what I say. I have no idea. It does have some quite good reviews. Steve actually sent me this to give it a go, and I started doing a bit of research, and one of the things I don't like about it is it's really secretive. The website doesn't actually give you any information about what it is or how it's harvested. They just call it beneficial microbes, and that's it. That's literally it. There's so much like guff on the website, basically a lot of words that don't really mean anything. There's some testimonials from like farmers who have used it for like grazing fields and that kind of thing, but it doesn't scream like authentic or honest. And I sent them some emails actually with a list of questions that I don't have to hand. And they weren't too impressed, I think, with my maybe slightly skeptical attitude and didn't give me any answers. And I've always been, I've got a draft for a video on it where I was going to kind of share my concerns, but I've not found that loads of people are talking about it and espousing the benefits all the time. And it's just doubts. I could be completely wrong. It could be a miracle product. I don't know. It's quite hard to test because if you do it like on half a bed and don't do it on the other half, it's hard to tell if is it going to travel? Are all those microbes and stuff going to travel? But yeah, I'm a bit skeptical about it.
For me, straight away there, then JB, they had one chance to kind of prove themselves and answer questions. Yeah, there might be some kind of secretive kind of micro, they don't want to give away that kind of $1 million secret. But to me, that straight away is like, it's like when you go and when you go to a takeaway and it's cash only, and you think,
right,
why cash only? Do you know what I mean? Why, you know what I mean? It's just straight away I think, well, you're not obviously declaring everything, know what I mean, to the government. You know what I mean? So and I know there was a video last year, someone like a YouTuber
Digwell Steve.
Yes, Digwell.
Yeah.
And he seemed to have good results from it. And I know a couple of my people in the chat or people in comments mentioned it, you know what I mean, as well, and actually sent us a little bag over. And what's hard for me I know it's obviously micro, it's like there's billions and billions, but it was this tiny little bag that came, you know what I mean? And it was like, it could do that'll do enough for like 10 times over. And I think Steve sent me a bag because he must have contacted the company and sent out some bags. So I've still got that bag, but I never noticed anything. I did it twice round the garden, but I never noticed.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah, I never took it seriously, and I never took me measurements, me quantities exactly. You know what I mean? It was just like a watering can, put a bit in, sprinkle it round. So it wasn't a kind of a test as what the way Steve did his tests. So it's
just very vague. And one of the weird things is there's no sell-by date. Like if these are living microbes, how do they preserve them? There's no sell-by. That was one of my questions for them. Normally you can buy. There's lots of products like this, normally geared towards a very specialist growing sector, where living soil is kind of like a thing. And normally, if you buy beneficial microbes, they come as like a pre-liquid, and they'll have a very strict like use it within a month or two, and that kind of thing. It's just there's some questions I have.
But isn't it good though, JB, that we've got one of the four runners in like the mumbo jumbo micro, with we're on now, Audrey, with your micros, because you use it every year.
I do.
Which is, I'm guessing it's got to be different, you know what I mean, to this super soil, but it's still.
Well, it sure seems like
cross your fingers and put them behind your backs if it works, kind of.
Yeah, because this super soil, you barely use any in water.
Mm-hmm.
So, but mycorrhizal fungi, you use a good bit. So I don't know if that's part of it, but I'm with you, JB. I'm a little skeptical.
I was interested. I was doing a bit of research on this a while back, and I was interested in the mycorrhizal products as well. And one of the big ones here is Vitax, one of the big brands, and I emailed them with some questions about like how they harvest it, how they grow it, and they were really forthcoming. They were really helpful, and sent me all sorts of little bits and bobs that aren't, they have to be careful about what's their trade secrets and how they do it, but yeah, loads of information about how they harvest the kind of spores and dry them and that kind of thing. So slightly different response,
Yeah.
There you go.
But I've been meaning to get some of that Vitax mycorrhizal stuff. It's meant to be really good for potted plants, especially like chilies. So
It's fantastic. I used to always use it if you're planting roses or anything in people's gardens, always have bags of mycorrhizal, because the difference was like noticeable. Gardens that people didn't want to pay extra for mycorrhizal fungi, if you're being like, oh, I need to chuck this in the bottom of the hole, and they're a bit like, no. You could tell the difference, like if you're doing a garden over sort of 4 or 5 years, you could see the ones that you'd used it in. Like, it did make a big difference.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. Wow. It's strange, but obviously you're seeing the difference, and Audrey sees the difference.
I have seen the difference, so I'm a believer.
Audrey, would you use it then? You know how I'm going to do the quad grows, and I'm going to use feed as well, which comes with the quad grows. Is there any point in using? Because my roots are kind of going into the
water
solution,
essentially, right? It's almost like hydroponic growing, isn't it?
Yeah, partially.
So I have no great knowledge about hydroponic, so I don't.
I mean, there
it
is
seems
a
like
pot
this
of
is a
soil
network for in the soil. So I don't know if that would still work if it's in water.
Sounds like you've got a trial on your hands.
There we go. There,
you're gonna have plenty of quad grows, aren't you? You can do some with some with it, some without.
Well, now you actually fill those pots with dirt.
Yeah, it's a hybrid system.
Okay.
So there's a plant pot that sits on the top of a reservoir with a little piece of like cloth.
Oh.
And it's like, what is it, like capillary action? The water sucks up and dampens the soil and the roots.
Okay, so it's more of a watering system.
But the end of the season, and JB will probably say, well, the roots are right into the reservoir. Do you know what I mean? They're just totally kind of white, hellish big roots, or hellish fine, spread out all over. So it's I suppose what JB said there. It's like a hybrid. You've got your soil. And you've got. Is that how the other ones work, JB? The
autopots.
Autopots.
Oh,
they're a bit different. They actually have a suppressant barrier at the bottom of the pot that stops the roots from leaving. And they have like a sort of layer at the bottom where you put like those hydro balls. What they called, those clay balls that you use in hydroponics at the bottom, to stop the soil from getting too wet. Because if you just had soil at the bottom, it would be too wet. It would go really gross. So they have sort of like a soil barrier, then a bit of a dry bit that still allows the wicking action as the pots are flooded. So it's a bit different.
How does the water rise up then?
Because the medium that you put in the bottom is still it does capillary action and osmosis.
Right.
So those, pardon?
So the leaker, the expanded ceramic balls, the little brown ones.
Yes, that's the stuff.
Also, the capillary action's going up through these. Is it clear? Is it, or is it? I've seen that kind of little crunchy round balls. I don't know what it's kind of made of.
Yeah, I just use perlite in mine, to be fair. There's the book that you get with the Autopot, there's like 6 different suggestions. You could use like gravel or grit. Generally the layer, it just kind of works out that the level of the water means that you can it still works even if you've got like a dry layer at the bottom. It pulls it up somehow. I don't know, it's magic.
So would you use it then, JB, on your auto pots, the micros? I'm not saying like the super soil. I'm talking about Audrey's.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it's probably worthwhile. The mycorrhizal has loads of different benefits, doesn't it? It's about like breaking down and making what's in that soil mix or your compost a bit more available to the plant, and it helps them with like water retention and water trading and stuff, right?
So yeah, Tony, I would, if it's in dirt, if you plant it in soil, I would use it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've still got, like, say, I mean, I can get some fresh. I don't know if, do they have sell-by? They must have sell-by dates and what JB was saying there. That,
I think the mycorrhizal is a bit different because it's like dried and powdered, but they detail why that's okay and why it survives like that. You know, it's kind of like fungal
Yeah, I've not
reproduction.
noticed a use by date, but
Do
I
you
use
use
it
it-
pretty quick.
Jess, do
So-
you use it in your garden now? Do you?
No, and I'm sitting here thinking, why do I not? Like, I know a couple of years ago I was planting a load of stuff and I was like, oh, I'll get some. And when I went to buy it, the price had gone up so much.
Yeah.
That I think I just backed off, and then I haven't gone back to it. But it's something I should really, don't need a lot of it, just putting it in.
I think if you're like no till or like low disturbance, no dig, it's quite a good idea because that low disturbance is what allows the mycorrhizal and the fungi networks to do their thing, you know.
That's why it was so good for kind of, border roses and stuff, because once they're in, they're there permanently. And no,
So is
big
it,
difference.
does it work on the system, Jess, that once you put it in, it keeps on year after year, just building
It's not
stronger?
something that it's not something that you reapply. You tend to use it when you're planting, or the stuff that I used is stuff that you use when you're planting, and then
Right.
it works in cooperation with the roots of the plant as they're growing,
Right.
and it just makes everything in that soil. So when you do go to fertilize it, or you're watering it in dry weather, it makes all of that just more available to the plant. So it's got a better system underneath it to use that.
Right. So in looking at it, then it's kind of, because you're pulling your veg out in a vegetable garden, like in the season, you know what I mean? So I wonder if it gets the chance to kind of build up its, kind of build up itself and get better and better, because you're just going to pull a cauliflower at the end of, once it's kind of ready to go. But
It travels throughout the soil, doesn't it?
Yeah, if you can foster it in the soil, then anything you plant in there is going to benefit from it.
It's there's a few things that don't, isn't there? I think it's brassicas. Is it brassicas that don't have
don't use it for that.
Yeah. But 90% of plants, I think, benefit from general mycorrhizal.
So getting back to your
hyphae.
super soil, JB, are you going to use it this year, or is it just
Well,
on a little designated? Because you've got enough area coverage now to kind of do a test, haven't you?
I could do. I mean, I realize I've been talking about it a lot now, but one of the reasons that I haven't is because I didn't really want to give them press. And I've only just remembered that after talking about them quite a lot. But yeah, I don't know. And like you say, Digwell Green Fingers, Steve, has done some trials, and it does look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I was interested to do tests at some point. I've got the packet. I might as well. I might as well.
I don't know where my packet.
Well, if nothing else, in some pots or
Yeah.
something that you can kind of control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not your chilies. Not your babies. Not your babies.
Keep it away.
Has anybody heard of, what was it called? Chaos theory in gardening and planting. There was just chaos gardening. That was the term. It was just a lady, OMG Productions 9475, commented on us and says, "Oh, try chaos gardening." And I think it's a method, and I cannot pronounce the names. It's like a Dutch guy who invented it, and there's a system to it of the chaos gardening. What I'm working out is, you plant chaos in you plant like a carrot and an onion, and it's all mixed up, and it just gets the bugs confused. They don't like this, they like that, but they kind of get to this because of this. So has anyone heard, Jess, have you heard of chaos gardening before? Because it was the first time I come across it.
I've heard of it being called chaos gardening before, but the theory of not, doing half a bed of kohlrabi, and whereas planting 4 or 5 kohlrabi, dotted around in with all your other stuff, like that's a fairly standard. I've not heard it called like chaos gardening before, though that sounds good.
I think it's taking it more to the extreme where, yeah, like companion planting, like plant with onions or with, like certain things. But I think if I'm picking this up right, it's just a whole, within a set guideline or boundaries, a whole load of different vegetables. You know what I mean? Like a whole kind of one bed of just a total mix, which would be quite unusual to actually just do anyways. You know what I mean? Have one bed where you've got potatoes, carrots, onions, all in together, mixed up. And I mean, I don't know how the layout or how how he's kind of, but it's Frank and Andres and it's Dutch and it's called, I can't even pronounce it in Dutch. You know what I mean? So I'll end up swearing.
But
Like,
I mean, I kind of can get that. So I think we more call it companion planting. So, if you plant something next to onions, it's not gonna, it's gonna keep carrot fly away, maybe.
Well, this is taking it to the next level, Audrey.
This is like extreme companion planting.
Yeah. And then what do you do with those white cabbage butterflies?
Yeah.
If you've got your brassicas dotted around,
and we'll find one in a field of anything. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Say goodbye to those.
Yeah.
They will just, oh my gosh.
Also, like if you need carrots, like if you need carrots for dinner and you've got to go around 8 different beds looking for a carrot, like that's not any good, is it?
And you kind of like all carrot root fly. Do you know what I mean? It sounds great there, but
not only are they everywhere and you can't find the damn things, but they're covered in bugs.
Yeah.
Mind you, would there be? That's the whole point of it. Would the bugs be there? Do you know what I mean? Because you might have something that would chase off the butterflies and the.
What on earth chases off those butterflies? Because I want to know, and I will plant that.
You need to
all
share
over my garden.
We'll ask Frank. You know what I mean? Frank, and apparently it's a next stage on no dig gardening. So if you're into no dig gardening, this is like another level. Something else to kind of help with that method. You know what I mean? So I just thought it was interesting that
I've started spreading my crops around a lot more. Like it used to be quite a case of kind of, old rotation planting where you didn't put your brassicas in the same bed for like 4 years or whatever, I used to kind of, not religiously, but that was kind of the theory. It was like we had like 3 beds of brassicas each year and it would just shift down. I just don't do it anymore. Firstly, we've got cabbage, what's it called, clubroot in every bed, so it doesn't really make a difference if you're kind of moving it on. And also now I will just put like 3 cavolo nero in the end of a bed that's got some parsnips and a bit of this in, and I've got my perennial stuff kind of dotted around, so it has changed a lot in that sort of direction, but not as extreme as that.
Mind, I did see Charlie Dowden's a great believer now in just planting the same crop in the same bed. You know what I mean? And I'm on the, I mean, if it worked this time, it'll work next time. That's my kind of, I mean, I didn't get any onion white rot in this bed. I'm going to do it, you know what I mean? Because that's the way I kind of think. So I'll just plant in the same bed. That doesn't, I never even think of it, to be honest. You know what I mean? And
well, Jesse, I think that would make a great video of you going around your entire allotment looking for a bunch of carrots.
Yeah.
Like
45-minute video of me searching every, like fingertip searching every bed.
I think that would be wonderful. And look, we got 7 carrots. Yes.
Yeah.
Carrots has been, mind you, for I think 2 years now, just terrible for me. Do you know what I mean? Some things have been brilliant, and I'm going to start sowing them very soon. Is the marathon broccoli, like the big kind of the Calabrese kind of heads I've had last year, cracking ones of them. But then carrots have just been broccoli. Carrots is just terrible. Do you know what I mean? It's just like even netting them, like straight away. There's like root fly with the kind of the markings, and you just think, what a waste. And it's like one of the nicest veg. Do you know what I mean? And I always wanted to do what Steve wanted. Remember Steve once said, like the luxurious way of cooking carrots is to cook them in melted butter. Oh, it's I think it's a French technique. Like, so it's like the liquid is just
Bit
melted
easy.
butter.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we went somewhere. Where was Oh, it was in Germany, and I don't know if they did it in there, but there was turnip that just knocked me for, it was for six. I thought the
Oh,
butter
wow.
on here is lovely, and I wonder if they'd been cooked in just butter. But my going back to carrots, just failure. 2 years in a row, failure. Do you know what I mean? Just swamped by weeds and just terrible germination.
Yeah.
And no matter, like everyone, like, oh, you need to kind of underwood, keep them damp. I did all that, man. I did all that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know the rules, but it's just not working for us, man. Do you know what I mean?
I'm glad it's not just me. I'm glad it's not just me. I had one carrot this year. It was a good carrot. I pulled it the other day. But yeah, I have never ever had luck with carrot germination.
Oh,
We
well,
had you go ahead.
Go ahead, Jesse.
No.
Oh, I was going to say, I just had to dispose of a bag of carrots that were gorgeous, that were in the back of my vegetable drawer in the fridge. And they turned into this nasty, and it kind of broke my heart a little bit because these were my favorite carrots.
Oh no.
And they went the way of, I don't know, the way of the garbage man. So I'm so sad.
I
Yeah.
can't even get them down to the house. I
Oh,
don't even see the little green shoots, Audrey, and you're slinging
Oh.
them away because of just neglect.
I know it was total neglect. So
Oh,
I feel, and they're the beautiful black nebulas. I mean, they're gorgeous carrots. They were long, they were beautiful. And yeah, no, they're
wonder-
dead.
I wonder if is there a certain carrot that's foolproof, nice flavor, foolproof, like idiot, like me proof. Do you know what I mean? It's like, Tony, you grow these ones, man. For God's sake. You know what I mean? The kindergartens
I've
grow them, and
years I've not been able to grow carrots for years and years and years. And then the variety that I will always grow now is Touchon. I had more success with them than I have any other carrot. They've been fantastic.
I haven't got a
But
pen again.
Yeah, how'd you
also
spell
I
it?
Jess
did
just
How'd you
gives
spell
out
it,
these
Jesse?
names. Do you know what I mean? And I forgot the bloody onion ones.
Touchon.
Nice.
It's a brilliant carrot. Really, really love them. I got them off real seeds the first time, and I still to get them off real seeds. But last year, my carrot bed, I sowed 2 lots of carrots about a week apart, and one of them, because I'd filled it with compost. I mean, it was rocket grow compost, which is a bit, but I'd filled it up to like the maximum. And then one of them, I really squashed down and did a little drill, like a triangle of like really, really super fine potting compost, and filled the drill and then sowed into that. And the other one I just sowed direct, and not a single one of the other ones came up. And I had a great row of carrots in the little triangle one.
So you make it.
No, you got to do it proper.
You make a furrow like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it for years, but the difference, like looking at the compost that I had in there versus this really fine compost, didn't seem like it was that much of a difference. And I've never really bothered before. But I just made like with my hand, like just pushed along. So it was like that, and then filled it and then sewed into that. And turns out it does make a difference because I did the two together, and it did make a.
What about planks of wood? And this is what people tell us: planks of wood on top, keeping it moist. Anything netting, anything.
I didn't. I had
Praying?
I've got an environment
like praying like
box.
that.
It's I've got like an environment box that sits over the whole of what's now my carrot bed, and that does stop the wind like taking the moisture off that top layer of soil. So
yeah,
I
nice.
guess that's sort of had that same effect of keeping the damp in.
Right. Well, just put it in our little potty mouth on the WhatsApp, the name of them carrots, and by God.
We'll put it in the show notes.
I know.
Yes. Well, yes, put them in the show notes, and then everyone can kind of get some of them carrots.
Now, Tony, have you ever tried sowing your carrots between lettuce?
I don't think I have. Audrey, I'm trying
I
to
do that a lot, and
Right.
because the lettuce kind of shades it until they come up, and by then the lettuce are out.
Hmm.
right.
Yeah,
How I see I get my timings all wrong, Audrey, to be honest. I'm not that kind of clever at that, like the lettuce
He's
would just
practicing chaos gardening.
yeah.
yeah. There we
lettuce
go.
would just the lettuce would just smother me carrots and not put the light, what I mean? I'd get it all kind of wrong, and so they wouldn't see light, and then they would die off because there's no light because of the freaking lettuce, man. Ooh, sorry.
Okay. Well, I'm good. I
Lettuce.
do my lettuce in rows and leave enough. I mean, I do kind of high intense, and some of it will come out. And if that comes out, I throw a row of carrots in there.
Mhm.
And it still
Yeah,
does have
nice.
enough room to get some light, but you can always just take a few leaves off
Oh
on
yeah.
that side so that it's getting a little sun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I did it, Audrey. I'm trying to think. I don't know what it was with. I don't know if there was something. I mean, maybe 2 years ago. I'm sure I tried it, but
Yeah, I'm just saying that's something that's always worked for
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
So
lettuce works for us. I can grow lettuce.
there you go.
There you go.
Well, it gives a little shade when those little baby carrots are coming up, right?
Is that the only way you grow them, Audrey, or do you
No,
grow them just?
sometimes I just throw them in a bed. But I find that way I'm guaranteed that they're going to come up beautifully.
Mhm.
It's not fair, is it?
And
Oh,
then
What?
Not fair.
just waste them, let them go to rotten in the fridge.
I know. I almost cried. Okay.
So
There were tears.
what were those ones, Audrey? Did you say what did you
Black nebulas.
right? So the
They're
black on the
gold.
outside and like orange inside or something?
Oh no, they are almost black all the way through.
Right.
Very, very dark purple.
Even when you cook
And-
them, they're still black,
Yeah, they keep their color.
right?
They
Right.
are, and that's the original color of carrots was purple.
I didn't know that.
No, I knew it wasn't orange, but I didn't know it
Yeah,
was
they were
purple.
bred to be orange.
For what
Wow.
reason?
I think some king wanted them
Never.
orange.
Right?
So I think I
Yeah.
honestly think it was some royalty that wanted them to be orange, or one came out orange and let's get all of them orange. So that's how they've
Found-
yeah.
I've never grown that variety, but I've grown. Trying to remember what it's called now. There's like one that you often get that's a purple one.
Yeah.
Here, there is purple outside, and the purple bleeds in, but the core
Yeah.
is orange.
Right.
And I've found that they grow so much slower. Like if I've mixed them in, it's tend to. I mean, it's obviously I've never tried that variety, but
Yeah.
if you've got like a mixed pack of ones like orange, yellow, white, and purple, I always find all the other ones have kind of done their thing, and then the purple ones are still chugging away, trying to get some size on them. Well, it seems to
Yeah, they
work out
might.
that way.
I am not sure that this one. It's usually, what is it? 60 days, 90 days for a carrot, 80 days,
90, 90, I
somewhere
think.
around there.
I was going to say 90 rings a bell. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
The one my mother used to always swear by, and I haven't had any luck with it, mind you. I'm sure it's called Sugar Snack or with an X, Super Snacks, Sugar Snack, and just
They're like little ones, lunchbox ones, aren't
no,
they?
no, just average size, nothing. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
know
okay.
all the kind of Nance too and all those, but I'm gonna try Jesse's and hopefully, you know what I mean.
Yeah, me too.
Better look at them. I'm gonna do that the furrow thing, you know what I mean, as well. So
And I think you can put vermiculite over that too if you don't have a finer compost. You could put vermiculite over the
right.
drill.
Oh, that's a good idea. I have lots of weed seed that looks like carrots as well. There's a weed, fumitory. So it's really frustrating to try and weed that and tell where your carrot line is and where the weeds are. But vermiculite's quite a nice idea, though.
Mm.
And I even
I'll
got,
get
like you
out.
say, talking the carrots, that I did the carrot with the strip of paper, like the junior level.
Oh, I
carrot.
tried that based on it's horrible. It was
Oh, really?
Right. So
First of all, they weren't spaced right. And there were more white carrots in there than anything else. And I thought, and they taste like nothing.
Oh,
I'm not a fan of a white carrot because it's not even like it airs, like it leans towards parsnip. Oh no, it's like nothing.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Audrey, give her the name of that
Sure.
after the show because I'll forget it again. And Jess, we'll put them in the show notes. These 2 carrots.
Oh, okay.
JB, we're
it's
having
gonna
it.
be the year. It's
The
gonna be the
year.
year
This
for
is it.
carrots.
This is the year. You know what I mean? And let's all throw them out the back of the fridge at the end of the year. We'll all kind of, you know what I mean?
Turn them into liquid feed in the fridge.
Yes, I am gonna have nightmares about that, but
Because that's right, Audrey. You don't do your own compost.
compost,
Allowed
can
to,
you?
aren't you
Yeah.
not?
no. Well, this year we're burying buckets in the beds.
No.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, drilled, a lot of holes drilled in them. And so I'm composting in those.
Right. So you're digging a hole, you're putting a bucket in, and then all your
Uh-huh.
kitchen waste goes in this bucket.
Right. And then,
Right.
but it has a lid, so it's not just turning into,
I'm
and then the
still-
worms come in and come out. So
I'm still gonna phone the inspectors. They'll be round there.
Yeah, well.
It's still combusting.
they're gonna have to find them. That's all I can say. And I'll say, take a big whiff once you find them, okay? Yeah.
Audrey, how's your microgreens? Because you said you've done cucumber.
Yes,
Your
I've
microgreens,
got
are they starting
oh yeah, they're up.
right?
They're doing great, and 3 of the cucumbers are up. So I feel like I'm gardening again.
So these aren't kits from Growing Local, because I
Well,
guess
no,
Ian's not
because
sending
I
you
can't.
over.
Yeah, no.
So have you got your own companies that do your microgreens? Have you? Or
Yeah,
have
I
you
buy.
created your own?
No, I do a lot of True Leaf Market is one of the ones I use a lot. It's where I get my hemp mats and a lot of my seed. But I also just use seed that's maybe getting a little older, and so I try it. Right, just get rid of the packet. So yeah, no, but everything's at least germinated. Not everything's up and running yet, but I think out of 8 varieties, I think 1, 2, 3, 4 are cruising. So
What are you doing? Which ones are you doing?
I'm doing some beet greens. I always do some cabbage. I'm also doing basil, cilantro. I'm also doing a mixed lettuces. It's called a jazzy mix, so I'm thinking it's spicy lettuces. What else is in there? Dill. Trying dill. I've never done
Nice.
dill microgreens, but love them. So I think that was probably 7. That's not bad off the top of my head. And there's probably another kale. I'm sure there's a kale in there.
Are you
So-
They're
adding?
good.
Are you adding extra heat, Audrey? Or are you just using heat for
Nope.
your house heat? You like you
House heat, and it's under once, how you weigh them down to get them started. And then I just put them under my grow lights and let them go. So the family's coming in. I got the California crew is coming in tonight. So they're going to need some microgreens, or they won't know how to eat. So, okay. So I was hoping to have those while they were here, and timing is perfect. So,
But now is
Nice.
the actual, like if you have lost your mojo, microgreen kits and now are a kind of an essential little.
absolutely, because it's still you're
Mhm.
still growing something, and it's fun.
So are you I'm just interested to find out, Audrey, are you cropping all your microgreens and just making one big bowl of salad, or do you add to a certain, I'm just wondering how you cook these things, or to cook them, prepare them. Are you just having like say the brassica one just as a side on a dish, or do you just mix the whole lot together, or for a salad? Salad?
Well, now that like the kids are coming in, they're bigger sandwich eaters than we are. So I would like put it on a sandwich. I would put it over eggs. I mean, there's really nothing that tastes bad with a little fresh herb on it. So, but I just sometimes just put them in the
Did you say
salad.
herbs there, Audrey?
No, I didn't actually.
No, I think
said herb.
I think you meant to say herbs.
Herb is a man.
I think we had this chat last year as well.
We
Oh,
did.
yeah.
We did. You sound like Martha Stewart saying it like that.
Because well, for me then, I would just kind of normally what I did last year, and I've actually got Ian's boxes kind of in shot there.
Mm.
I'll just I haven't done it yet, but I've just chopped the whole lot in with other, because it
Yeah.
fair kind of use that. You know what I mean? I know Hannah actually has just shelves of it for a company to track all that restaurant. She, it's
Oh,
a,
sure. That's like a
it's
machine.
a whole kind of room kit of
Yeah.
it, auto watering and everything, So
Yeah. So I do like on these 5x5 hemp mats. So they fit into half trays here with their 10x10s.
mhm.
So on 2 half trays, I can do 8 different varieties.
Oh, yeah,
So
nice.
I'm
yeah.
just about to start my first ones. I've never succeeded with microgreens. They've always rotted out. So I'm just
Hey.
Where
don't know
will you
why.
put them? Just in the house, Jess? Are you?
Yeah, I've got well actually probably in here at the moment I've got a big piece of cardboard over the window because it's pretty drafty, but I'll cling film it up and then put them on here actually because it's like a proper wide window ledge. So
Is is this your home? It's like a little room in your home, or this is not in the garden
yeah.
somewhere, kind of away from the.
No, this is my office.
I love
Got a
it, man.
printer in it. It makes it an office.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes. I love like a kind of a room, like, you know what I mean, where it's just your room and it's like, this is how because Melanie will sometimes come in here and tidy it all up, and it's just like,
No.
oh man, where is, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, kind of. So I've got, this is my new book. I'll just show you.
Oh,
That's what I'm kind of. Have you ever heard it? Yeah, you would have heard
Mm.
Douglas Adams. Have you, Audrey?
No.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Well, this was his final. I mean, he didn't write this one, but this is all his last notes in his office. Bit like probably Jess's office there. All them little post-it notes and everything
Yeah.
that have been put into
Oh,
here.
wow.
So there's all like, I don't know if you can kind of see the.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's cool.
So Jess, make a book with all your little notes. Book, you know what I mean?
most of this is absolute nonsense. Like it's mainly like I used to use this room a lot for painting. So there's paint everywhere, and yeah, now it's a bit more kind of tidy because it's although I've got bits of the shower hanging everywhere at the moment. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
still not.
JP, I was gonna.
I've got 3 panels of it in now. Just got to actually affix the shower head. So that's that thing there.
We still haven't worked out why the whole moved, why that
Oh my
whole
God.
scenario.
Don't bring it up,
No,
Tony.
No, I know.
literally like
Don't get
this.
us started.
Don't go there.
You've done
Don't.
it. You've done it. But this wall just here is actually the back of the shower, and as I'm sitting on one of those like kneeling rolly chairs, and I'm literally like just rolling backwards because the floor is so like wibbly wobbly. It's like it's not.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I fear for this house. Actually, I am really going off on side now.
I shouldn't have brought it up. Jess, I apologize. This shower, we'll get to the end of it and it will be gorgeous. No, I was going to ask JB, are you doing any more keyboard worrying, JB, to garden companies? Are you?
No,
Have you done anything
thankfully
else?
not. No,
No.
thankfully. I've not got anything on the go with any companies at the moment. We all get lots of offers, don't we, of absolute tat. And sometimes it's quite fun sharing those to one another.
Has anybody got lately? I'm getting the red glow lights for your
Oh
face.
yeah.
Have you had, I mean, for God's sake, I'm 57-year-old northerner. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, you know what I mean? I know that it's, we're all kind of equal this day and age, and,
yeah.
but that's the last thing on God's green earth I would want to kind of switch on a red light.
What's it meant to do?
For skin complexion, I think. Is that right, Jess?
see.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm getting a double whammy of those ones. Yeah, which is supposed to like reduce inflammation or something on your skin. But the other one is something called Omnia Sleep Pillow, which looks like a torture device. There's a new pillow that stops you waking up with wrinkles from lying on your pillow. It's like, no.
But it's not a problem that needed to be solved.
I know, but you know, like ancient Egyptian pillows. Do you know, like ancient Egyptian pillows? They look like a little stand with like they're normally like ceramic or wood,
Oh yeah,
and then they've got like a little bit on top like that where you sleep with your head kind of hovering. It's kind of like a memory foam version of that. It looks horrific. So no, thank you.
Remember
Yeah.
when I did, and I think it's just payback for it, you know what I mean? But I get so many now of the auto bird feeders.
Oh
Man.
really?
Oh, well, I did one, JB, about 2 years ago. I kind of, you know, when you say it's an addiction, oh, go on, then send us one, because it was all Wi-Fi'd and everything. Oh, I get all those, like the auto bird feeder, Wi-Fi connected, house connected kind of thing. I've even had of late, like a company that was asking us for like hair drying equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, we both got a hairdryer, didn't we? An email about hairdryers. I said it was because they knew about your past career.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It
Mine
is
are
funny,
still-
though, isn't it?
I
It is
love an
funny.
like email. That just makes my day. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we're just reaching out to see if you'd like to collab. Yes. You know what I mean? Yes. Thank you very much. JB, I mentioned, you know, like, because we've all got kind of, I guess, apart from Audrey there, like polytunnels and outside, and it's heating a polytunnel.
Ooh. It
Now-
always gets a bit tempting this time of
I
year,
know,
doesn't it?
and it's funny. I've got it now, Jim, but like remind myself that I'm okay. I don't need it because I've got the, you know what I mean. But it's only that, I guess, wobble time. You know, that little wobble time in April where you think,
Oh yeah.
oh man, it's April. End of April, we'll never get a frost, and then you get a frost and you lose everything. So I was thinking, any advice, anybody, for like this wobble period? Because I've got two actual. Why I kind of come up with it, I've got 2 gas bottles that are just kind of kicking around as stands to put plants on in the garden. So I've got lots of gas, and I've got, remember the old, Jess, I don't know if Audrey, if you remember, when you go to a pub, beer garden, and used to have the disc heaters.
You've got your love hearts coming out.
Yeah, you want to see that? Sorry, it might crash my camera, so I can't do that anymore. We're trying. That's one thing, Jess. If you get an Apple Mac, the new software, I haven't switched it off. It'll do the hearts and everything, kind of. To see if it'll do. I hope it doesn't crash me bloody computer. Anyway, it doesn't.
You won't do it now. You're
No, I
trying.
know. So, you know that, Jess, when you go to a beer garden, I used to have their heaters in with the, you know. Well, I've got a mini tabletop one of them, and I was thinking, I wonder if I could just put that on dead low in the polytunnel. Yes. Obviously, carbon monoxide poisoning is one of the main kind of, you know what I mean, issues. I don't know. Anybody got any thoughts like heating? Because it'd be nice to not have that worry. Do you know what I mean? That kind of,
Well, which I'm going to have a go at, is a tea light under a ceramic pot.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've read about it and I've always been a bit like, no, I just can't see it working, because I've tried little paraffin heaters and it's never worked. But just having like a tea light, I can see
But
just
would that?
lifting the chill slightly.
But you wouldn't put your baby chilies in there, though. What would you want to protect with that? With that little lift of heat, you know, what plants would you have in there, Jess?
No, it's just keeping the frost off, I think,
Yeah.
rather than, it's not like keeping it warm or anything. But at the time, I mean, by April, our last frost date here is the 21st of March, I think. So by like April, we
Wow.
should be all right. But yeah, it's just the beginning, and anything that I'm trying to kind of hold on to over winter, I might try that. I don't know. It's not going to make it sort of like a balmy, wonderful tropical enclosure, but if it can keep it like a degree or 2 higher, might be worth it.
So Tony, are you trying to keep like a warm weather crop warm,
it's just
like
I
tomatoes and peppers?
It eventually gets to the point, Audrey, though, even with my little greenhouse, which is ideal, things start getting, as we all kind of know, a little bit choked and a little bit kind of,
Sure.
you know, and it's like, it's that April-y time where you think, do I take these up now? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it gets to the point where these are the main ones. You know what I mean? Not me spares. These are me main ones.
Yeah.
These are me beauties. You know what I mean? These are the ones I want to take through. And you get one cool snap, and you
Oh yeah.
know what I mean? And I'm just thinking, it's that wobble period. You know, I'm not going to put anything there in March, February. You know what I mean? We haven't our
Right.
cross PHS is certainly not March. You know, the end of March, kind of for the last year. But it's that wobble. Even May, there's a chance you'll get a nasty frost that will kind of kick it. And it was just like, what prevention can you do to kind of just get over that little make it less worrying? You know what I mean? I don't know, JB, have you got any thoughts on it? Or
There's a few kind of general principles for, greenhouses and polytunnels, like thermal mass is a really good one. So trying to make sure you've got as much in your tunnel, like slabs, or people use like storage heated bricks are quite a good one, or water butts, something that's going to absorb some of the thermal energy from the sun during the day and then release it overnight. Water butts are probably the easiest way to do that. But paving slabs and stuff like that are quite good for it as well. So the soil, not so much. That can help just bring it up that, couple of degrees to keep those things alive. I've never done heating. Once again, that's because I'm a, South Coast princess. And generally we can get away with quite a lot. And if it's a really bad forecast, I just abort, bring it home.
yeah.
I had to do that with the chilies last year. I put them out. They had 2 days and then they were back in
See,
for another week.
That's one thing then, JB, where I would be stuck because they'll be in the quad grows. Once I'm committed, I'm committed.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't plant them out. I bring them out and they stay in relatively small pots for quite a while. I don't put them in their final pots until kind of May, by which time we're frost free.
I might,
Touch
I
wood.
might, you know what I mean, do that, to be honest. I know
Said that with great confidence.
Yeah.
it's like you say, it's just gut wrenching when you lose them. Do you know what I mean? And because I did lose them, was it last year, the year before?
Yeah, you had a bad one.
They did come back, or one did come back, but nothing like, what it should have done. Maybe that was me just not being a good chili grower. Just I needed to learn from the master.
Is there a reason is it just because you're getting too cramped in your greenhouse?
Well, the greenhouse order is 6x4. So when you've got
Right.
maybe, 20 tomatoes ready to go, tomatoes are a little bit tougher, and then you've got your chilies. And I'm intending to grow chilies in January. Do you know what I mean? I'm intending to sow them very early in January, you know what I mean? To get like this. Because my pots are big. I can't do anything about that now. I'm committed to these big pots. I need a long grown season. You know what I mean? So I've got to get them in early, and I've got to kind of pray there's no hard frosts in April.
Mm. You
How do I
could
do that?
you could invest in, greenhouse in a greenhouse type situation. In the tunnel, I remember Tony from Simplify Gardening did that on quite a large scale where he sectioned off part of his tunnel.
And did it work for Tone? Did it?
Yeah. I assume he's still doing it. I can't remember if he had a electric heater in there or not. I imagine he probably did. He's got all sorts on his
I could see
massive pots.
Jess, I could see your tea light terracotta thing working in a little,
Yeah.
a little environment. You know what I mean?
Say your greenhouse is only 6x4. I think my main greenhouse at the allotment's only 6x4. I think it's quite
Really?
small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But I've got
it might be 4x7. It's a tiny greenhouse. Yeah, it's really.
I mean, I'm
small.
like I say, I'm looking in the because it's out. I've got electric in there. Do you know what I mean? So I've got like a nice little thermostat heater that it kind of, if it gets a little bit, you know what I mean, pop, goes on, and it's just ideal. But it's just that wobble month. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The wobble month is April then, JB. Is that the
It is for me.
The one for
Generally our last frost is mid to late April. I think it's 21st from memory.
That's when ours is.
I was going to say yours is August, Audrey.
Generally chance it a little bit, and generally get lucky.
Yeah, you both make me very nervous when you start taking warm weather stuff down.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, we're weeks.
Mhm.
I don't put my warm weather stuff out till mid-May at the
Yeah.
earliest.
Mhm.
Because you just don't know.
Yeah.
And they really don't like a little frost. They're not as happy as all the spring stuff is. Yeah.
I get just so complacent. That's my, you know what I
Oh,
mean? I just,
I yell at you
Mhm.
while I'm watching your videos.
I can
Like,
hear
stop, take them back,
you.
leave them inside.
But it's going to get to the point. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember how many like last year, because this year I've only got, I get, you know, something like, say, let's say the number 40 pots. So there's only going to be 40 plants, but eventually 40 plants in a little
Oh,
4
sure.
by 6 is going to get. So I'm going to
Oh,
be,
yeah.
and I'll, like I say, the tomatoes are a bit more tougher than the chili plants, you know.
Oh, yeah.
JB, is a certain chili plants that are tougher for the cold? You know, like are the hot ones? I guess
Yeah, I
they're
think
the feeblest ones, I would have thought. But
yeah, I think generally the chinense, the capsicum chinense, the super hots, you know, the ones with the nice big broad leaves, they do seem to be a little bit more sensitive to the temperature changes. So quite often people start those a little bit earlier as well because they're a bit more of a slow grower. So yeah, I think they're the ones to be careful with. And the Annam varieties generally they're a little bit more tolerant. You know, they're a bit faster growing. They're, you know, that's your cayenne and that kind of pepper. So yeah, so chinense you got to be really, really delicate with, I think.
well, I just thought as well there, JB. We were just chatting, weren't we? So just if anyone's watching, we are going to do possibly, possibly 4 chili specials next year, maybe even 12. Well, who knows?
Wow.
He's getting excited.
Getting excited, you know what I mean? It's lovely to talk about them. Do you know what I mean? But I know we could talk about them all the time. You know what I mean? But I know not everyone wants to. Yeah, not the chilies.
We can ask the question actually. We could ask if people would prefer when you're watching the premiere, we can read all the comments.
Oh yes.
Would people prefer the chili special being an extra that we did on top of the normal ones, or would you like it if just the Monday show became a chili special? Yeah. There you go. Because that'll be much easier to schedule and everything. But if we did the Monday, then maybe we could do one every 2 or 3 months. Would be quite a good one. Like the key milestones, you know. So start of January when you're sowing, and then maybe March, April when you're thinking about how big they are, when you're going to put them out, or maybe if you know you've not got indoor grow lights, then that's when a lot of people are going to be doing their first sowings for peppers. That could be cool, couldn't it?
Oh yes, yes. So it'd be nice to kind of see in the comments. Do you know what I mean? Kind of what time is it? Oh, just over. What it'd be nice as well what people thought of this kind of the way, because all I'm doing at the moment is no editing on this video. This video is getting recorded on Zoom and it's getting uploaded straight to YouTube. If I took it into Final Cut Pro, which is on the Mac, it turns it into there was one. Did you see one, JB, when I took a picture, like a screenshot? I think it was like 86 gigs.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
that's
It would
not
take
right,
us like
yeah.
a week on Friday to kind of upload it. Where this is
Wow.
it comes out at like 2 gigs, you know what I mean? So it's not too bad. So is this format all right? And I did find actually, JB, where I can share my screen and there's loads of things on this Zoom meeting, you know what I mean, where we can I can hand it over to JB. Actually,
Ooh, don't do that.
if I was off, actually, JB, you could just run it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
yes.
Jess could run it, or Audrey could run it. You know what I mean? It's quite you can just log into my account and who needs me? Who needs me?
Oh, Potty Mouth needs you.
Oh, you're okay. Anything else? JB, what did you put about Hugh's Secret Garden? Because
Oh yeah,
I've
this
seen the
was
link, but I've never watched I always forget his surname. Hugh Richard.
Hugh Richards, not Edwards. Yeah, so everyone knows Hugh Richards, really popular channel. But he's done a very cool project. I personally, we said we were going to talk about gossip and other creators on this, didn't we? So personally, I've never really like got on with Hugh Richards' garden that much. Like, respect him as a video creator, amazing production, but his garden is like, it's so finished. Do you know what I mean? It's so like extra. He's got all the time. It's just so, it's quite perfect. It's kind of an Instagram garden, you know. But he's just done this secret garden project where for the last year he's had a half allotment sized plot that he's kind of fenced off. He's kept it secret. He's been doing it all behind the scenes, made loads of videos, written a book about it. And the whole idea was to start off with a half size allotment. So, you know, 5 rods, 125 square meters, and get as much food as he possibly could for it. He's got a polytunnel in there. He's got all these hoop houses on his raised beds. And he grew something like 600 kilograms of food over the year. And he's been weighing it all, you know, and like he's got the planting plans and everything he's done. And I assume he's going to be revealing a few more videos through winter over what he's been doing, but he's just unveiled it as a project and the book. And I thought it was really cool. I've always had a little bit of like
Jealousy.
yeah, yeah, well, I've got plenty of that. But there's some, I quite like that, looking at your harvests and kind of doing a bit of statistics and seeing, you know, how much money have you spent and how much have you cropped, and doing that little sum. And I did it. It's one of my earlier videos, sort of the costs of an allotment and the first year, and it was so uneconomical for me.
Oh,
I was
God.
just like, you know, I'm basically chucking money away. And you know, he's obviously got it down to a fine science, and he's got that investment right up front. You know, he's got all the raised beds, he's got everything there, he's got years and years of experience. And I quite like that little bit of stats and number crunching.
Do you
So I'm
think?
quite excited to see more of it.
Do you think though, if you were truthful and honest with yourself, you've got a garden for your own well-being more than the veg that's pulling out of it?
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
know, like you see that I'll have to go and watch it, but for a gardener, it's not about like taking this plant to the pot and I've saved money because I'm doing all, you know what I mean? It's about my kind of mental health,
Yes.
just being out there in the open and just having fun and having failures. Do you know what I mean? It's not about, you know, the crop. So if everyone's deep down just says, you know, is honest, is it about, Jess, is your garden about the therapy for yourself, or is it actually about get the produce you can get home to get cooking?
Yeah, I mean the amount of, if you work, I haven't worked it out, and I won't be working it out how much.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, if I walked into a shop, I wouldn't pay £3 for a tomato. I probably pay £3 for every tomato I grow. Like, it's not. Yeah, it's not about. It's not about that. It's interesting though. I do like about, and also I quite enjoy watching other people weigh their crops, and it's like it's not something I've ever done. But when someone's like, "Oh, I got 4 kilos out of potatoes out of that pot," I've just got, you know, a bucket. I have got no idea how much four kilos really is. It'd be quite interesting. I know Mum sees other people like, but she doesn't really watch YouTube at all. But she's on Instagram, so she loves it when somebody's weighed their vegetables. Like, she's like, "Oh, that was." She doesn't know how much it is either, but we're both impressed by the numbers. So we should we should really start weighing things, I think, because some things you get so much, but I think yeah, it is mainly about just the joy of actually growing it. And some things though, like you go into a supermarket, I'm going to talk about chard again, sorry, but you go into a supermarket, you go to Whole Foods and try and buy a bunch of chard, it's £9 a kilo or something
Right.
for chard. So yeah, when I'm walking home with a massive like bar, you know, stems like this of my chard, I do feel like maybe I've saved saved a
Yeah.
bit of money, you know. It's
Well,
like,
You've
it's
got a
funny.
basket of cash, basically. You're
on
walking home.
the flip side, though, I always remember bringing some onions down home, and it was like this little bunch that I'd got. You know, like, this is what I've done. And the next day or the same day, Melanie, my wife, came in with like one of these netted baskets of onions for £2 from one
Yeah.
of those like little city, you know, like just on the outskirts of a city where it's like a wholesale fruit and it was like £2 for more onions than we could actually lift. Audrey, I think we actually threw some out. There you go.
Yes.
I'm with you. I'm with
Yeah.
you. I'm
I
with
should
you.
have weighed the
Yes,
bag
sir.
of carrots before
You
I threw it
should have.
out.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I weighed my stuff all last year,
Oh, really?
and then I thought I didn't even add up the results because of my nature. I'm thinking I'm going to become competitive with myself. Like, I grew this much carrot, I'm growing more carrot. So I didn't even add it all up because I thought, is this really what I'm doing this for? It's not.
That's
It
good.
was
That
kind of
wouldn't.
entertaining, but then it becomes a pain, kind of.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah.
guess if he
Where's
was
that?
writing
Where's
a
that?
book,
Where have I
that
put
would
it?
be worth, but yeah.
Yeah, I did it one year with a chili pepper experiment. I had like 2 different ways of growing it, and oh my God, the amount of time to like
Yes.
get them all the different varieties into their own little bags when you're harvesting, labeling the bags so that you know
Yep.
what varieties are, weighing them all bit by bit when you get, oh, it's enough to make you want to,
Yes.
find a tall building. It's just like,
Yeah.
no. I was
No,
thinking
it's
I might next year. It would be really cool to get one of those scales and just hang it off a bar in the tunnel. You know, one of those scales where you hang stuff and it just
like a
does it
produce
based.
scale, like a produce
Yeah.
Greengrocer's
scale.
one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just load your trug up with all the stuff, hook it on
Yeah.
there, quick note. Oh, that'll be cool. Then I can see did I come close to Hugh Richards? I won't. I won't.
So what was JB? What was the video? Is the video from him then to show how much he can grow, or how much we can grow, or how much
No, yeah, it's very much meant to be you can do this. If you follow this rough plan, then you can be self-sufficient. For a family of 4, you can be self-sufficient on your vegetables for a half-size allotment, which I think is an admirable goal. If anyone can do that, I take
Yeah,
my hat off to them.
I cannot understand how that could even be achievable. Do you know what
That's
I mean?
always what I've thought too.
I've had like when everyone came up, I forget who dug the potatoes out, but it was a huge bed and there was a load of potatoes, and within yes, that Chunky likes his food, you know what I mean? So, I do eat a lot of potatoes. There's not that many left there now. They're all I'm down to kind of those little, the little ones where you've left in the canvas bag, in the rucksack kind of thing. So it's just how to keep that going week after week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you've got a field, do you know what I mean? But obviously, how big was his? Did he say how big his allotment was?
Yeah, half size, so 5 rods, 125 meters squared. It was tightly packed. The paths were tiny, and it was all raised beds. But I
Size like the 10 rods, like a full size allotment, 250 square meters. That was supposed to be like to feed a family of 4, wasn't it? Like that was the
that the
original
idea?
when they like designated that as a standard allotment plot. It was supposed to be able to feed a family of 4.
Yeah, interesting. There are a lot more, when that standard is from, 150 years ago, I guess, when it was first. Maybe not. I don't know. The Allotment Association was a bit later, wasn't it? But the number of pests and diseases and stuff that we have to contend with now is so much more than they did back in the day. Like, I didn't realize that allium leaf miner only kind of introduced to the UK in like 2008. And now it's spread sort of from the Midlands to everywhere. And I think there's a lot more kind of widespread pest and disease stuff. So maybe that's part of it. But
What was his
I
take
think
on?
you'd have. I was
I'm
just
just
saying, like the varieties of things that we're growing now, it's quite different as well. Like we
that's true.
want to have polytunnels to have aubergines, and that wouldn't have been included in that original thing. It would have been, cabbages, potatoes, onions, a much more, standard sort of list of things. Now you want chickpeas and amaranth and or all these kind of bits and pieces. So the style of what we want to grow has changed a lot, I imagine, since that measurement was taken.
Yeah, true.
Did he come up against any failures, JB? Like pests?
I don't know because he's just unveiled the kind of the project. He is generally quite he kind of says there are going to be ups and downs. You're going to have failures. Like, his mentality towards gardening seems very healthy, and like fosters a very good attitude for new beginners. To expect failures and that kind of thing. And you know, I watched his follow-up video about kind of some of the principles behind low disturbance, and it was all good stuff. It was all quite relatable, I thought.
I would love to in like a practical terms for like videoing, you know, like Charlie Dowden's got it off to an art, you know what I mean? Well, I'll show you how to grow broccoli. And in the end, there's broccoli in this one video, which means over just, you know what I mean? That's the quintessential goal is to get that, is to save that little video and add it with this little video and that little video and then this little video on a hard drive, and then
you're speaking my language, Tony. You're speaking to me. This is like, I've got plans and plans. Like I've planned out all these videos on like how to grow purple sprouting broccoli. You know, one video from seed to crop, and it just never happens. It never ever happens. Maybe one day I'll be able to make one. But yeah, when you've got a team of videographers who are cataloging all your stuff, it's much easier. But yeah, those one videos where you can go through the stages of everything, it's like really, really, really.
They're the ones you want to watch, you know what I mean? But like, I mean,
yeah,
how many kind of garden videos do we watch now? You know what I mean? My whole kind of YouTube thing is all technology, or you know what I mean? Or bloody e-bikes, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah, how many of those have you gotten? 5?
I've had quite a few, Audrey. I think I've had probably 6 or 7. I've got 2 in the hut yet to build, and I've got another one, kind of a launch one coming, which
e-bikes anonymous. That's what you need.
eBay, get on there.
I saw someone in the I think it was in Potty Mouth chat who said they're going to start growing e-bikes.
You know what? It's, to be honest, it's the weird thing, but I love them. Do you know what I mean? I love this kind of, I've never liked motorbikes, and I love technology, but I've liked bikes in the past, but obviously a while ago. But these things just, the giddy excitement I get. Do you know what I mean? The fly, Audrey, the fly. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I would love to get, and I'm trying to kind of reach out to someone who would send us like a scooter, because I would love, we've got, along the coast, I don't know if any of you have got them down south, they're just lying or they're propped up, and you just walk up to them and you put your foot, and you've got like this scooter, and you can't go out of this zone, and it just takes you up and down the coast, you know what I mean? And it's just like this new scheme that they've got, and I was thinking, oh. And we had to go, me and the wife, and it was, you know what I mean? It was like, so these companies now are getting
my scooter. It was brilliant. Like I had one of those, electric scooters. I had one when people would stop you in the street and be like, "What's that?" Like nobody had seen them before. It was amazing. Like I used to go to work on every day. So I live in Richmond and I work in Battersea. That's about a 45-minute journey on the scooter, and I would go there and back, and whenever on this blooming thing, and like up cobbled streets, and you're like trying to get up the blooming. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. But then, like within 2 years, like going along, because I used to take the Thames Path, going along the Thames Path, it was like being in a swarm of bees, because everybody was on electric scooters and you're all traveling at the same speed, the maximum speed, and you just all go zzz, like along. It's like this huge mass of scooters that it just was no fun anymore, so I gave it away. Well, but it was amazing.
It's funny now, Jess, like you say, along this kind of coastal, we've got all these kind of lovely like bike paths now, and it's all pensioners flying on the e-bikes. Do you know what I mean? And all the kind of the proper cycle gurus, with the kind of head down kind of thing. There's all these pensioners that just whizzing past them. You know what I mean? On the cycle paths. Yeah, I think we've come to the end. We've got to mention. Sorry.
Oh yes.
Our onion special on Boxing Day. Jess, you did a lovely shout out. Thank you very much for the potty mouth on your channel. That's about the onions and what kind of variety as well. So thank you very much for that. It was an honor and a pleasure. But is it Boxing? We're on the 18th of December. So is Boxing Day our next show?
No, Christmas Day would be our next show. So we are back uploading on the 26th on the Boxing Day.
Yeah, we're going to do it on the 26th at 7 o'clock. It will be released, but we'll be kind of, it's an onion special. So again, links in below. There's, if you want to go and get the onions to kind of sew along, we're all sewing on Boxing Day. Audrey's even going to dip her toes in. Had a meltdown last year with them, but
I'm
couple
gonna
of
sew
seeds.
some.
Yes.
I'm gonna sew some.
Oh, that would be lovely. That would be lovely.
Yeah. By the way, it
Good.
is snowing here. You asked me how the weather was. It
Is
is
it?
snowing
Oh,
and it is
Nice.
0 degrees Celsius at this moment. So
so jealous.
just a blustery little day.
Well, it's actually dark now. Actually,
Yeah.
it's
I've
not that
gotta go-
long. It's not that long till we actually get to winter as well, isn't it? On the 21st, is it the longest day?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Darkest, and then every day after that, it's a little bit lighter. Certainly
Can't
does
wait.
change it. It's one of them fundamental years in the calendar for me where you think, right, that's
Yes.
it. Everything's getting better.
Mojo's back.
Your mojo's
you
back.
go.
21st of
Yeah, the
December.
21st. Yes. Well, listen, Jess, thank you so much for turning up. You've been a star. Thank you. Audrey, it's been a pleasure. Never a chore.
Thank you.
JB, what can I say? What can I say?
I'll do better next time.
Listen, everyone, thank you very much. Do it in
Thank
the comments.
you. Bye.
There, we'll see you whenever as well. So, Boxing Day. Take good care. Toodle bip. Bye.
Bye.